Hi students, good morning. In this class, I would like to teach the important formula which is Lensmaker's formula. What is its mathematical equation? What are the important application based on Lensmaker's formula, and we can also derive the relation when the two lenses are combined together. And what is the equivalent focal length of the combination of lens and the combination of power of the lens? First, we observe what is the mathematical equation for Lensmaker's formula. So, Lensmaker's formula is the relation which explains among the refractive index of air medium, refractive index of material means glass, and their radii of curvatures R1, R2 with respect to its focal length. So mathematically it can be written as 1 by F is equal to N2 by N1 minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. In some books it is represented as mu2 by mu1. So we can consider N1 as the refractive index of A, N2 is the refractive index of the convex lens. So 1 by F is equal to N2 by N1 minus 1, 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. This is called Lensmaker's formula. So by using the Lensmaker's formula, we can manufacture or design a particular wavelength of the given lens. Suppose if you want to design a convex lens of focal length 50 centimeters or 25 centimeters, then we can use the Lensmaker's formula such that the refractive indices and radii of curvatures are arranged. We get the desired focal length. So how we can derive the Lensmaker's formula? From this simple diagram. In the previous video, already we explained when the refraction takes place from rarer medium to the denser medium, and what is the equation of the case in the refraction of light from rarer to denser. So basing on that we can derive the relation. Observing the diagram. So this is the convex lens of focal length, let us say F. So a convex lens of focal length F having refractive index N2 is kept in the presence of air medium whose refractive index is represented as N1. Let's R1, R2 are the radius of curvatures. Okay, so this lens is kept in the presence of air medium. Then how the light rays are coming from the point object. So what is the refracted rays that forms the images on the principal axis? So observing that O is the point object which is kept beyond the principal focus. So on the principal axis. So O is the point object kept on the principal axis. Then in order to form the image, we must consider two light rays from the point object. So the first one is the normal incidence which is moving perpendicular to the first refracting surface x P1 P1 and P2 are the poles of, so this is taken as P2. So P1 and P2 are the poles of the two refracting surface of the convex lens. So first we consider the first refracting surface, that is x P1 So this is the first refractive surface. Then we can take the two rays which are coming from the point object. One is the normal incidence. That means the ray which is passing parallel to the principal axis, that is normal to the XP1Y refracting surface. So this is moving in a straight path and forms image I1 after refraction. So this is another ray which is called OA. So OA is another ray which strikes on the first refracting surface and gets refracted and form the image I1 due to the intersection of the two rays, normal of incidence and the refracted ray AI1. So I1 is the image formed by the first refracted surface XP1y at a distance which is equal to, let us say, V1. So this is the first case. So here we can observe that I1 is image formed by first refracting surface. First refracting surface at V1. But here we are observing that the I1 is acting as the virtual object for the second refracting surface XP2y, which is at a distance V1. So V1 is the image of the point object act as the virtual object having distance V1 for the second refracting surface XP2y. Then the final image of the virtual object V1 is formed by the second refracting curved surface at point I, which is represented like this. So this is the refracted ray of the virtual object I1 that strikes on the second refracting surface XP2y and forms the final real image by the second refracting surface at a distance which is equal to V. Clear? So I is the final image formed by the virtual object produced by the first refracting surface at a distance is equal to V. So we can write. So this is 1. Coming to the 2. So I is final image formed by second refracting surface. Second refracting surface X P2y at a distance V. Simply we are observing that I1 is the image formed by the first refracting surface X P1y. So that image I1 which is formed at V1 act as the virtual object for the second refracting surface XP2y, and this refracting surface finally forms the real image at a point I which is having a distance V. Clear? Then we can consider the first refracting surface and apply the formula. So we can observe the case 1. Case 1 means refraction from rarer medium to denser. So already we derived the condition. So what is the condition? That condition is like this. So this is the condition. So this is point objects. So this is O, and this is the north center of curvature. So we can take this is the center of curvature. So which is acting as the normal. So this is called angle of incidence. After refraction, it strikes at this point. So this is one ray, this is another ray. So this is called I1, which is at a distance V1. So this is U, and N1, this is N2. This is a simple ray diagram for the first curved surface. So we apply the equation. That means N1 by object distance. So this can be taken as P1. So this is taken as C1. So we consider the first curved surface. Then we can write N1 by minus U plus N2 by this is, so we can write this is object. Object means we can write OP1 plus this is image. So that can be written as P1 I1 is equal to N2 minus N1, the radius of curvature. This is R1. So we can write P1 C1. So this is equation 1. So this can be written as N1 by minus U plus N2 by V1 is equal to N2 minus N1 by R1. By applying the sign convention. So N1 by OP1 means minus U plus N2 by V1 means real image. So N2 minus N1 by R1. R1 is positive. It is measured from the pole towards the right side. So this is the first case. When the refraction takes place from rarer to denser medium. And observing the second case. So case 2. So what happens? This image I1 is act as the virtual object for the second refracting surface, and it forms the final image at I. So the second one is refraction from denser to rarer. From denser to rarer. Simply we can change the refractive index in the first formula. So what is the diagram? Diagram is like this. So this is denser medium. So this is denser medium. So we can observe that. So the object is like this. So this is I1. Incident ray. And take the second surface. So this is the center of curvature. Take the normal. After refraction, it forms like this. So this is I. So this is P2. So this is V. And this distance is V1. And this value is R2. So this is one ray. And this is the refracted ray. So this is the refraction from denser to rarer. So N2 to N1. So this is normal. This is normal. And we can observe in C2 P2. So C2 P2. And V1, that is V. Simply we can write by using the second equation. So we can write N2 by object distance. That can be written as P2 I1 plus N1 by image distance P2 I is equal to, this is N2 minus N1 by, so radius, that is P2 C2. Then we can apply the sign convention. So N2 minus V1 plus N1, this is V. So P2I means V. So this is equal to N2 minus N1 by P2C2 is nothing but R2. Okay? So why? Because it is measured from pole to the center of curvature in the opposite direction of incident light. So this is called equation 3. So this is called equation 1. Okay. So this is equation 1. So from equation 1 and 3, so this is, let us say this is 1 and this is 2. From equation 1 and 2, we add the left hand side and right hand side. So if you add the left hand side, so here you can observe in that. So adding equation 1 and 2. So add the 2. So N2 by V1 minus N2 by V1. So these two terms are cancelling each other. And we get here minus N1 by U on the left hand side. So this is N2 N1. So this is N1. So this becomes N1 by V is equal to, so coming to the left hand side, N2 minus N1 is common. So N2 minus N1 taken as common. The first one is positive. 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So take N1 common. So N1. First write the positive term. 1 by minus U is equal to N2 minus N1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So dividing with N1 on both sides. And finally 1 by V minus 1 by U is equal to N2 minus N1 by N1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So here we can observe that. So from this we can write 1 by V minus 1 by U is equal to N2 minus N1 by N1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So this becomes N2 by N1 minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. We know that the relation between focal length of the convex lens, object distance U, image distance V, which is lens formula. 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. So we can write from lens formula or lens equation, we can write 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. So in place of 1 by V minus 1 by U, simply we can substitute the value of 1 by F. So in the place of 1 by V minus 1 by U, simply we can write therefore 1 by F is equal to N2 by N1 minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So what is N2 by N1? When light travels from rarer to denser, the refractive index of second medium with respect to the first medium is called relative refractive index of the second medium with respect to first one. So this can be written as 1 by F is equal to, this is mu minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2, where mu is mu2 by, here we can write, this is n, where n is equal to n2 by n1, refractive index of the given convex lens or glass with respect to air medium. So n is equal to n2 by n1. So the lens maker's formula is 1 by F is equal to n2 by n1 minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Or we can write 1 by F is equal to n minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So this is very important formula for board examinations and competitive examinations. How we can find the relation by the consideration of the two refracting surface. The first one is refraction from rarer to denser medium. We use the diagram. Then we can write the basic equation. What is the basic equation? N1 by object distance plus N2 by image distance is equal to N2 minus N1 by the radius of curvature of the refracting surface. Similarly, in the second case, so the refraction takes place from denser to rarer medium. So we consider the second surface. While we consider the second surface, the image formed by the point object at V1 as I1 act as the virtual object for the second refracting surface X P2Y, and it forms the final image at a point I at a distance V. Okay, so by considering the second case, we can write N2 by means the medium in which the virtual object is kept. So that is the second medium. So denser medium. N2 by the object distance plus where the image is formed in the rarer medium. So refractive index of rarer medium is equal to N2 minus N1 by the radius of curvature. So while considering the second refractive surface, we apply the sign convention. So N2 by minus V1 plus N1 by final image is equal to N2 minus N1 by the radius of curvature is measured in the opposite direction of incident light. So that is minus. So add the two equations, that means the first and second. So N2 by V1 and N2 by minus V1 cancel each other, and we can write N1 by U minus plus N1 by V is equal to, take N2 minus N1 common. So 1 by R1 positive. So this is negative, becomes minus 1 by R2. So N1 take common. So 1 by V minus 1 by U is equal to N2 minus N1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. Dividing N1 throughout the equation. So 1 by V minus 1 by U is equal to N2 minus N1 by N1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. Then we can write 1 by V is equal to this one. But 1 by V minus 1 by U from length equation, that is equal to focal length of the given convex lens. So eliminate the or substitute in the place of 1 by V minus 1 by U, that is equal to 1 by F. Final expression for Lensmaker's formula is 1 by F is equal to N2 by N1 minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. But we know that N2 by N1 is the relative refractive index of the glass, means convex lens, with respect to A. So we can write in place of this value 1 by F is equal to N minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So this is the Lensmaker's formula. Okay, I hope you all understand the concept. Okay, if you follow the concept of Lensmaker's formula, we can easily solve the problems based on the shape of the given convex lens or concave lens. So what are the special cases in the case of different shapes of the convex lens? Let's observe. So some cases. So Lensmaker's formula is 1 by F is equal to N2 by N1 minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So this is Lensmaker's formula. So suppose depending upon the shape of the given convex lens. So this is biconvex lens, where we observing different radius of curvatures, where we use the Lensmaker's formula 1 by F is equal to N2 by N1 minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So this is the first one. Coming to the second case, that means we can take the plano convex lens. So this is plano convex lens. Here we can observe that this is the first curved surface. Then we can write R1. So this is positive. R1 is, so this is R1, which is measured from the pole towards the direction of incident light. So this is plane surface where R2 is infinity. For a plane refracting surface, the radius of curvature is always equal to R2. So in this situation, what is the modification of focal length? So 1 by f is equal to n2 by n1 minus 1 into 1 by r1. So this is 1 by infinity. But 1 by infinity is 0. Finally we get n2 by n1 minus 1 into 1 by r1. So this is the plano convex lens when the curved refracting surface is facing towards the parallel medium. But if the plano convex is like this, so this is R2. So R2 becomes negative. So R1 is infinity. So in this plano convex lens, we can write 1 by f is equal to minus of n2 by n1 minus 1 into 1 by, simply we can write R2. So this is the plano convex lens, how the lens maker's formula is modified. Suppose if you consider so this is concave convex lens. So concave means this is the first surface of concave and the second surface is like this. So the first surface of the concave is again this is minus and this is also minus. So minus R1 and minus R2. So depending upon the shape of the given lens, we can change the formula. Okay, so what is the formula for concave lens? So the fourth one is, this is concave lens. So the equation can be changes in the case of concave lens. So this is R1, this is R2. So this is R1. This is the center of the C1, this is C2. Here we measure the radius of curvature of the second one. So R2 is positive. And we measure the radius of curvature of the first concave surface towards left. So this becomes minus. Simply we can write minus R1 and this is plus. So in the case of concave lens, 1 by f is equal to n2 by n1 minus 1 into, so this is negative. So we can write minus R1 minus R2 is positive. So this is minus R2. So if you take the minus common, so this becomes minus of n2 by n1 minus 1 into 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So depending upon the given convex lens, we can modify the equation and solve the simple applications based on lens maker's formula. If the radius of curvatures are equal, that means equiconvex lens. If equiconvex lens means, in the case of equiconvex lens, that means we can simply write R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R. So we can use the formula. So by using the different sizes and shapes, we can solve the problems. Okay. So this is lens maker's formula. Coming to what is the equivalent focal length in the case of the combination of lenses, and later the equivalent power of the combination of lens, and finally we solve the one or two examples based on the two cases. Okay, let's observe what is the equation of equivalent focal length of the given convex lenses or concave lenses. Now observe what is the equivalent focal length of two thin convex lenses when they are contact coaxially, and what is the equivalent power of the combination of lens. Suppose if you take a single lens, when a point object is kept beyond the focus, then it forms the real image at one point on the principal axis. In the similar manner, when we combine two or more than convex lens or concave lens, that is also give the same pattern of image formed by a single convex lens. Let's observe what is the equivalent focal length of the combination of lens. Here we are observing that L1, L2 are the two thin convex lenses whose focal lengths are represented F1 and F2. So F1 and F2 are the focal lengths of the given two thin convex lenses. So the two convex lenses are in contact coaxially such that the optical center of the two lenses is exactly coincide at one point, which is represented as P. Why? Because the two lenses are taken as thin lens. In such a lenses, the optical centers are considered to be a common point, which is called P. So we measure the distances of image or object and the common image from this point. Okay? So L1, L2 are two thin convex lenses of focal lengths F1, F2, which are coaxially in contact as in the figure. We are observing that O is the point object which is kept beyond the principal focus of the first convex lens. Then it forms a real image on the other side of the first convex lens due to refraction of the two rays, which was already explained in the case of Lensmaker's formula. Again we are observing that two rays. One is the normal incidence ray. So the ray which is normal to the refracting surface of the first convex lens, and the another ray is nothing but this is OA. So after refraction of the ray OA and the normal incidence ray, they are meet at one point and form the image I1. So I1 is the image formed by the first convex lens at a distance which is equal to V1. Okay, so V1 is the distance of the image I1 formed by the first convex lens of focal length F1. So this image I1 again act as the virtual object for the lens L2, and after refraction it forms final image at a point I. Okay, so I is the final image formed by the second lens, for which I1 act as the virtual object. So V is the final image formed by the second convex lens for the virtual object I1, which is formed by the first convex lens. Clear? So this is the simple logic we are observing that. So V1 is virtual object for the second lens. After refraction it forms final image V at a point I, and I1 is the image formed by the first lens at a distance V1. By applying the lens equation or lens formula for the two lenses separately. So U is the object distance which is measured from the common pole of the given two combination. So we can write OP is equal to object distance. So OP is equal to object distance. And we can write PI is V, final image distance. And what about PI1? So PI1 is equal to V1, image formed by the first lens. And F1 is the focal length of the first, F2 is the focal length of the second. Then we can write first for first lens from lens equation. From first lens we apply the lens equation. What is the lens equation? 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. So by the consideration of the first convex lens, U is the object distance. And what is the image distance? That is V1 formed at I1 by the first lens. So we can write this is first lens 1 by F1. This is 1 by V1. This is 1 by V2. Okay? So 1 by F1 is equal to 1 by V1 minus 1 by V. This is called equation 1. Coming to the for second lens, again from lens equation. So we can write 1 by F2 is equal to, so what is the image distance? That is equal to image distance. So we can write V, and this is minus 1 by V1. Here we can write V is equal to V and U is equal to V1. So V1 acts as the object for this one. So we can write V1 in place of U, and V is the final image. So by observing the two equations, so this is called equation 2. So 1 by V1, so minus 1 by V1. So we can add the two equations. So add equations 1 and 2. What about on the left hand side? Simply add the focal length 1 by F1 plus 1 by F2. So 1 by V1 minus 1 by V1, and we get 1 by V minus 1 by V. Here we are observing that suppose the entire combination is treated as a single convex lens. So this is the combination of two lenses. The two lenses are taken as a single lens. So this is F1, this is F2, and the single lens is taken as focal length F, and it forms the object O after refraction at a point I. So if we consider the combination as a single convex lens, then we can write this is a single convex lens. So this can be taken as a single convex lens like this. So this is object, the normal incidence, and after refraction it forms image at point I. So this is U and this is V. And having the focal length, let us say capital F. Then we can apply the lens equation for this. So this is capital F. So 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by V. So this is called equivalent. So the combination can be treated as a simple equation. Then we can write that is 1 by F equivalent is equal to 1 by final image minus 1 by the distance of object. So this becomes equal to, from this combination we can write 1 by F equivalent. Okay, so we can write in the case of combination of lengths. the final equivalent focal length. So equivalent focal length of combination 1 by F equivalent is equal to 1 by F1 plus 1 by F2. So this is the combination of given two thin convex lenses. Okay. So 1 by F equivalent is equal to 1 by F1 plus 1 by F2. So basing on this equation, we can also derive the equivalent power of the combination of lens. Already in the previous lecture, we learned what is the power of lens. So the reciprocal of its focal length is called power of the given convex or concave lens. So what is the focal length of the first convex lens? F1. And F2 is the focal length of the second convex lens. So the reciprocal of focal length of first convex lens is called its power. So 1 by F1 is P1. 1 by F2 is called P2. So this becomes P1 plus P2. What is 1 by F equivalent? That is the equivalent power of the combination. So this can be expressed in terms of the power of the lens. So what is power? So we can write power P is equal to 1 by focal length. So this equation becomes 1 by F equivalent is equal to P1 power of first convex lens and 1 by F2 P2 power of second convex lens. If we add another 3 or more, then we can simply write P1 plus P2 plus P3 and so on. So this becomes the equivalent power. So equivalent power P is equal to P1 plus P2. So this is the expression for the equivalent power in terms of their focal lengths. So 1 by F equivalent is equal to 1 by F1 plus 1 by F2 and 1 by P equivalent is equal to P1 plus P2. So this is the combination of thin lenses. Okay, if you understand the concepts very well, we can easily solve the problems based on combination of lens and power of lens. Let's solve the two problems based on lens maker's formula and the equivalent focal length for the combination of two lenses. First observe in the case of combination of two lenses. The first problem is as follows. Two thin lenses of powers minus 1.75 diopters and 2.25 diopter are coaxially in contact. Find the focal length of the combination. So already we derived the equivalent focal length. So 1 by F equivalent is equal to 1 by F1 plus 1 by F2. But here the focal length is not given. So the focal length is given in terms of the power of the two convex lens. So this can be written as P1. So we can find P equivalent is equal to P1 plus P2. So we can write P1 is given minus 1.75 diopters. P2 is given 2.25 diopters. So add these two, then we get 0.5. So P equivalent is equal to minus 1.75 plus 2.25. So we get here 0.5 diopters. So this is P equivalent. But what is the equivalent focal length? So that can be written as 1 by F. So we can write P equivalent is equal to 1 by F equivalent. That is equal to 0.5. Therefore, F equivalent is equal to 1 by 0.5. That is equal to 10 by 5. Therefore, F equivalent is equal to 2 meters. So why? Because the power is given in diopters. So equivalent focal length is 2 meters or 200 centimeters. Like this, we solve the problems based on the combination of lengths. If the focal length is given, we can find the power. If the power is given, we can find the focal length of the given combination or individual focal length or individual power of the any one of the lengths. Coming to the second problem based on Lensmaker's formula and Lenz equation. 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u and magnifying power of convex lens. Size of image by size of object, that is equal to v by u. So let's observe the second problem. A double convex lens of glass of refractive index 1.6 has its both surface of equal radii of curvature of 30 cm each. An object of height 5 cm is placed at a distance of 12.5 cm from the lens. Find the size of the image. So the given figure is like this. So you are observing that the given diagram is like this. So this is the convex lens and extended object is given AB. Size of the object is 5 centimeters and U is given 12.5 centimeters. And refractive index of the glass is given. So this is N2 is equal to 1.6. Refractive index of air is equal to N1. So we can write the given data first. So refractive index N2 is equal to 1.6 glass and N1 is equal to air, that is equal to 1. U is given 12.5 centimeters and height of the object HY is given 5 centimeters and radii of curvatures are equal. So this is biconvex lens. So R1 is equal to R2 is equal to 30 centimeters. So R1, R2. We apply the sign convention. So R1 is equal to plus 30 centimeters positive. Why? Because R1 is measured in the direction of incident light. So RT is measured in the opposite direction of incident light. So we can take R2 is equal to 30 centimeters. So first find the focal length of the given convex lens from Lensmaker's formula. So Lensmaker's formula is N2 by N1 minus 1, 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So we can write N2 means 1.6, N1 means 1, so minus 1. So this is 1 by 30 minus R2 means minus 30. So minus minus becomes plus. So that is equal to 0.6. Take LCM 2 by 30. So 1.6, 1.2 by 30. Therefore, F is equal to reciprocal. So 330 by 1.2. So this is 300 by 12. That is equal to 25 centimeters. So the focal length of the convex lens is equal to 25 centimeters. Then find the value of V. So already object distance is given. So from the Lenz equation, we can find the value of image distance. So that is, we can write from Lenz equation 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. So we can apply the value of focal length. So this is convex lens. So 1 by v is equal to 1 by f plus 1 by u. Okay, then we can write 1 by v apply the sign convention. So this is convex lens. So F is positive. So F is equal to plus 25 by applying sign convention. U is equal to minus 12.5. So this is U. Then we can write 1 by V is equal to 1 by 25 minus 1 by 12.5. So that is equal to 1 by V is equal to, so take the LCM. Then we get 1 by V is equal to minus 1 by 25. So from this we can write V is equal to minus 25 centimeters. Here minus indicates that the image is also formed in the same side of the object, which is called virtual object. So we can clearly say that this is virtual and erect image, which is formed on the same side. But what is the size of the image? So that can be measured by using magnification. How we can measure the magnification? So we can write the magnification like this. So magnification is equal to height of image by height of object, that is equal to V by U. So we know the value of U and V. Then find the value of height of image. So we can write simply image by object is equal to V means 25 by U means 12.5, and the height of the object is given 5 centimeters. So we can write from this height of the image by object means 5, that is equal to 25 by 12.5. We apply the sign convention, we get the same value, that is 25 by 12.5. Then we can write height of image I is equal to 5 multiplying 25 by 12.5. So this is equal to 125 by 12.5, that is equal to 10. So height of the image is 10 centimeters. So that means we can write I is equal to 5 to 2 times of object. So what is the value of object? 5 centimeters. So we get I is equal to 10. So the size of the image is twice of the size of object. So we observing this is a magnified virtual erect. So this is magnified virtual erect image is formed on the same side. So the image is like this, A dash, B dash, which is 10 centimeters. Size of the object. So this is the second problem, which is the combination of lens equation, lens maker's formula, and magnifying power of lens. Clear? Thank you.